opportunity. And in today's meeting, we have 3 parts as usual. The table topics, the prepared speeches, and evaluations. And besides me, we have an amazing team to support us throughout the meeting. While I call your name, could you please stand up and explain your role to us? First, let's welcome our on-counter Annie.
Yes, ma'am. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and Lynn as a guest, and also welcome back, Joy, to the world. The purpose of the act counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, or this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used this expression. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Back to you.
Thank you, Annie. Next, we have our timer, Ariel.
Greeting, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a timer, I will time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and the evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, then the yellow, and the red card, which denotes a specific time remaining. Table topic speakers should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card, and at 1 minute 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. Those giving speeches should limit their remarks to their specific speech times. Icebreaker speeches should be 4 to 6 minutes in length. Most other speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. At 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. The individual evaluation should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. Thank you, Mr. and Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. I am the vote counter. I do not have a script. I'm going to compile everyone's votes and then provide them to you for final calculation and anything else that's needed in the role.
Let's hear from our grammarian, Helen Young.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster and honored guest Lynn. Today, as a grammarian, I'm responsible to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to your language use. I'll take note of improper language and any outstanding words, quotes, saying, and thoughts. As a grammarian, it's my duty to introduce the word of today, and the word of today is zeal. And the definition of zeal is fervor, intense enthusiasm, and earnestness. So, an example, the reverent zeal to build a new parish led many to leave a little extra in the donation plate. Another example, we have a member, Joy. She has so much zeal, and we're so happy she's back. Okay. And thank you.
Thank you to all of our role players tonight. Now let's dive into the most exciting part of our meeting, the table topics. The table topic practice thinking quickly and speaking without preparation. For this part, let's welcome our table topics master today, Jenny.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster, and we have returning guests and honored guests. We are officially in spring now. Can you believe it? So, spring symbolizes the new beginning of the year. It's the time that we see nature coming back to life after that long winter dormant months. It reminded us that there's a chance for new beginnings and new hopes. It's also inspired us to believe in ourselves and our ability to make positive changes in our life. To kick off the new beginning of the year, tonight we're gonna have a lot of fun-filling questions. Let the fun begins. I'd like to call the first speaker, let's see, Billy.
I'm the first one.
Yes, you're the first one, yes. And as you know, this is also Easter. The time for Easter,
goodness.
yes. So you can choose your question.
Which one is
Doesn't matter, all colorful. Okay.
Oh.
Choice.
Okay. If you were famous, what would you be famous for?
Robbing banks.
Ah, good one.
Bad influence.
That was a table topic from the time.
That's a good, right?
Oh, I did one more time.
Okay,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah. If you were famous, what would you be famous for? Okay. If I were famous, I would be famous for being a good dad, right? Because I just want to make sure that I want to become a great role model, change my family legacy. So I want to be famous for my family, make sure that they recognize me, remember me forever. Sometimes we talk about, hey, have you ever remembered your great grandparents, right? And then even me, I didn't remember them. So for me, I want my kids, great grandkids, remember me, family legacy. Hey, this is great grandparent build this legacy for for the family. So change the family tree forever. That's what I want to be famous for. Be the one that change my family legacy. I be the one that make a difference in the family. That's why I work hard for. I remember when I come here, I was working 3 jobs to support the families, picking fruit, right? Work at McDonald's, and then also work for a Japanese restaurant, learn how to cook, and that's where I learned how to eat sushi. And I gained weight, so I come here by myself and learn how to become mechanic. Now I get to a different career, which is financial industry. So I keep improving myself, find the place that have no glass ceiling, so I can show my kid that anything possible. If you dream, you work at it, you focus, you will get it. So everything is just about the mindset, the thinking, the belief, right? You believe, you will see. You believe, you see. So I always talk to my kid that way. So strike the vision, make them think bigger, and the possibility, believe in themselves. And I want to be the one that can show them to that route. For that, thank you.
Thank you, Billy. I'm sure your kids will be proud of you, Billy.
Thank you.
Someday you will be the role model, for sure.
Yes.
I'd like to have Joy. Can you come on? Yay!
Yes.
Need my hiking stick.
It's okay.
Love that. That's good. We go hiking after this.
Yeah.
I can't see. I think this. If you could choose any 2 famous people to have dinner with, who would they be?
two famous people to have dinner with, who would they be? Gosh, I'm blanking out on famous people. Let me think about it. I've been watching the news lately, so only Trump is coming up to my mind. So I'm gonna have dinner with him. You know, I think if I were to choose two famous people presently, I would choose Robert F. Kennedy, who is in charge of a lot of the health section, I think, of that country. I forgot his exact title. And then the other person, living or dead, I think would be Ronald Reagan. When I was a young person, I admired Ronald Reagan very much because I felt like he was a grandpa, somebody who portrayed security and intelligence and wisdom and just a feeling of everything is going to be all right, like the kind of guy that you could sit on his lap and he would tell you a story or something. Maybe it's because that's when I grew up, and so that was who I saw on TV. And then also I was coming of age as a mid-teenager. I was 16 when the Berlin Wall fell. So there was a lot of stuff that was in his time period that I think we'd have a really interesting conversation. I think we'd have a really good steak and potatoes dinner, and, you know, something really good. But then, of course, Robert F. Kennedy, he would be healthy, and he might not want the steak and potatoes. He might want veg, but we'll kind of even it out. I think right now, just in light of what's recently happened to me in the hospital and this health scare, I've been thinking a lot. So those two people came to mind is because I'm thinking about my life and what I would like to do. There's still so much left to be done. When you're faced with a time in your life when you have to pivot, man, you just keep thinking, you know, almost 1 month in the hospital, you're left to your own thoughts. The only person that could get yourself out of that situation is yourself. Mm-hmm. And the only way out is through. There's no easy way to that. And as far as Robert F. Kennedy, I saw him getting elected while I was in the hospital. So I just feel like my purpose now is to find the wisdom and also the health that I need to make my life one that's purposeful and that can make a difference in other people's lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Joy. Very inspiring. All right, let's see. We're going to have Grace. Thank you, Grace. Glad to see you this Saturday, too.
Describe yourself in terms of food, fruit, or veggie. Interesting question. Okay, if I were to describe myself as a food, fruit, or veggie, if I were to think about my personality in order to describe myself as a inanimate object, I would choose a ice cream. And you might think, why? Why an ice cream? Maybe because everybody likes ice cream, and maybe I want to flatter myself and say that everybody likes me. That could be one reason. A reason that I was thinking about was ice cream. Ice cream is really good at different temperatures. Some people like it ice cold. However, some people think that when it's ice cold, it hurts their teeth, and they don't like it. They like it maybe 5 minutes in room temperature to make it slightly melted. Or even people like it soupy. And I would say that kind of fits me. People like me in different stages of, people can or cannot like me in different stages of being. Some people may think that I'm too sweet. Or maybe people think that there's not enough additives and I'm too boring. There's a lot of different ways that you can describe ice cream. There's a lot of ways that people like to eat ice cream. And I would say that it's a pretty a variety thing to eat ice cream, and that's what I would like to describe myself. Someone of a variety. You may like me in a certain state, you may not like me in a certain state. Thank you very much.
I love ice cream, by the way, Grace. Let's see. Everyone have a role tonight, huh? Let's see. Maybe I should Brady, if you don't mind.
The Brady Bunch.
Thank you, Brady.
Good. Oh my gosh. Okay. Who is your favorite Disney hero or heroine? Would you trade places with them? Gosh, okay. It's a really good question. It's a target-rich environment as far as Disney heroes. I'm gonna say my favorite Disney hero. Dramatic pause. For some reason I keep thinking Hercules, but that's really not my favorite. I'm gonna say Pinocchio, actually. Now, I'm saying a few times. I have a real zeal for Pinocchio. He's a real boy, after all, and that's important. Pinocchio is like a very classic story of coming of age, right? We all come of age in our own ways. I think Pinocchio is especially a good character because everybody should be able to see themselves in Pinocchio in one aspect or another. I'm racking my mind for memories of the Pinocchio story. None of us want to get swallowed by a whale, right? It's a big no-no. We're trying to avoid that. So, yeah, I think Pinocchio is a really good character because he's an archetype of all of our stories. Obviously, we all have unique challenges. Most of us are not born as an inanimate object besides Grace. And yeah, so I think Pinocchio presents a way for all of us to kind of mirror our own story and see ourselves in that story. Some of us do become a real boy. Some of us never make it off that island with the lost boys or whatever they are, but ultimately it's our story, it's our Pinocchio. So I think Pinocchio's great, and again, I have a tremendous zeal for Pinocchio. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Brady. Very interesting. You brought up Pinocchio. As a child, when my parents brought up Pinocchio, the only thing that reminded us is not to lie.
Oh.
That's why every time we talk about every time talk about not Pinocchio, it's like, oh, that's the story. Yeah. And can I have Paressa come up with, please? Thank you.
Question is, if you could choose any person from history to be your imaginary friend, who would it be and why? Have to think about this one. From history. If I could choose a person from history, I would choose Abraham Lincoln. I would like to be his friend and know what he was thinking, why he was thinking, and why he came up with all those great laws and ideas and everything that brought us together, I guess at that time, because I wasn't there, helped develop new times, new, I guess, generations, conversations between what was going on back then and what it has changed to how we deal with each other now, that we can all get along, or at least I think that we can all get along. A lot of those changes wouldn't have happened if he had not changed those laws back from slavery. So I would like to pick his brain and figure out why he was thinking that, and what it led, because I don't know what his history is or what his autobiography is. So I would like to ask him a lot of those questions. And if I can go ahead and use all of those, I guess, ideas into my own world now, I would go ahead and do that. because it will bring us even more together now that there's a lot of groups being separated now. So I think that would help us a lot at this time, to just bring us together and just get along. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I love that you brought up Abraham Lincoln, because that's also one of the president had in Mount Westmore. I told my kids there, because that's one of the statues there, and it helped bring back a lot of history. And then in Mount Westmore, they use all the history things. Wherever you go to, like even line up, they say, oh, it take 5 minutes for Abraham Lincoln to write the law, or they tell you to bring all the history along every corner of the place that you're going to. So it's very inspiring when you go there. And do we have one more? Okay, so let's see, one more. Can I have Elliot up here?
He's trying to look down with
I want to pick your brain and hear your wisdom.
Yeah,
Thanks,
My
Elliot.
friend. Yeah. It's that long, it needs a paperclip. Oh my gosh.
Just want to make sure it's fully covered.
If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would you choose and why? Well, my first reaction, that beats the heck out of me. I can think of cartoon characters. You could say, no. Some people say I'm strange or crazy like Daffy Duck, so that's it's relative to the perspective and how people look at you and what goes on with you. As we know, different characters have different strengths, and sometimes they're created to create an image or a thought or a process, and if you can associate with the character, then you end up feeling it helps you guide. I think especially with young children, having them involved with different characters, it's how they feel. It can help them build strength, build confidence, fortitude, and grow with it. And yet I still don't come up with the perfect character that I would like to be. Not dodging the question, as some people accuse me of. But what would you be? I never had one person that I was ever with, different ideas and different concepts of what it is. And then I look at television sometimes during the day and I think, good Lord, who are these characters and what are they? Nothing compared to what I was growing up. I think most of us, they made sense, some logic to it. And in some cases, you can appreciate the artistry that Walt Disney came up. Because if you look at the detail, the characters, the features, the relationships of what he did, you can understand why he was such a breakthrough person versus you see the characters that are on TV today, fish that, animals are this, there's a pink thing or whatnot, animals, obviously you're as blank as I am on the subject right this minute. But I relate to the newer ones and I'm thinking it just doesn't have the same as the prior ones. So whether you're Popeye the Sailor Man, so you eat your spinach and you stay strong and healthy, way to get kids to eat food, even if they don't like spinach. They say, well, I don't want to eat spinach. I'll tell you what, you ought to eat this because this is good for you. And Popeye eats that when he's not having his spinach. And that you can't argue with the logic if you're a kid. So you end up growing stronger and bigger and better. And you try different things. And in many cases, it's things you otherwise would never get your child to eat. But because it's Popeye and he has this on a spinach break, that's a great idea. Madam Table Topics Master.
I love all the answers of the questions. Popeye has been a character that I'm growing up with too. And my kids do not expose to that. I should have showed them the Popeye the TV show to them. That's how we grew up. And then we learned how to be strong. And he's not the biggest guy in the movie, but he became strong at the moment of emergency. So I'm thinking it's a good thing for them to learn. So really thank you for all of you to answer my questions. I'm going to turn my podium back to the Madam Toastmaster. Thank you.
Actually, I got one question for my job interview. The personality question which Grace picked up.
Really?
Yes. At that time, I choose, I want to be a grape, because there's a lot. It always come with a black cluster that I can share with people, and also grape we can make wine with grape. And so I want to say, as time goes on, with the experience, you're more valuable. Yeah, thank you. I think we should have can we get the time report from Claria and collect the vote for the table topics?
Billy 1 minute 47 seconds, Joy 2 minutes 18 seconds, Grace 1 minute 27 seconds, Brady 1 minute 13 seconds, Teresa 1 minute 41 seconds, Elliot 2 minutes 12 seconds. All qualified.
Thank you, Claria. Okay. And let's take a short break. And we're back 5 minutes.